Do the Raptors have a precious diamond in the rough on their hands? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Ehtisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. Like promised, a little bit delayed because of work and family stuff, but I will be reviewing another player of the Raptors today in my series of reviews. And the guy today we're going to be talking about is Precious Achiuwa. So without a further ado, let's talk Precious Achiuwa. Sorry about that. So Precious Achiuwa came over in the Kyle Lowry trade. And the Raptors held out in the last season for Tyler Hero. But, we got something out of it. And Precious was a completely unknown. He wasn't really getting much minutes. I think he was averaging 12 minutes with the Miami Heat, not really getting the ball, not getting any players called for him, none of that stuff. Because, again, he was a rookie and everybody didn't really think he had that much of a ceiling. He comes over to the Raptors and it seemed like we got a good trade out of it because Precious was precious this season. But he still has a lot of areas to improve. So, talking about his stats, which was a positive. He showed a move towards better point scoring and everything else. So he went from 5 points per game to 9.1 points per game, which is not bad. And he had good games where he scored 25, 26. He scored very well, right? He went up from his assists from 0.5 to 1.1 for a big guy. Still not enough given how much the Raptors love to move the ball, but he's moving in that right direction. And I'll get to why that assist total is kind of low. Then the rebounds, actually, he doubled it. He went from 3.4 to 6.5, which is amazing. Shows that he was playing with grit and grind, coming off the bench, pushing hard, doing everything he possibly can. He did very well offensively rebounding, especially when him and Chris Boucher finally figured it out. They were beasts on the glass. So that's a good positive for him. Free throw percentage, I'll get to that. 3-point percentage. He finally got through to shoot 3-pointers, which is something that Nick Nurse, encourages all of his players to do. And he averaged pretty good, which was 36% actually, if you is 0.359. So 36%, that's not bad. He would show considerable improvement for on his shot, especially from the corner. He was really, really good. And a lot of games, he shot a 3-point coming off transition, just walking into it, and they were big shots. So that's a really good improvement that, he showed. And his overall, what I saw from him is the second positive, is that he came in as a guy who wanted to prove himself. And he did that in a sense that he showed that he's committed. He's accepting of the role that he has. It took him a while, especially as a rookie, because he came in guns a-blazing, trying to do everything he could possibly do to impress the Raptors. But once he settled in, once he realized, hey, the Raptors are with him, they believe in him, so he needs to take it step by step. He started to grow his game, and he started to look more solid. In the start of the season, he was making, trying to do everything on the floor, not passing the ball, just charging like Russell Westbrook towards the net, mishandling the ball, all of those things. But, as the season progressed, especially after the All-Star game, he showed very, very good improvement. He started to make better decisions. He started to do what was required of him, like taking the corner threes, getting the ball on the floor. Defensively, he was doing, things like getting the offensive rebound, blocking people out, and taking charges and things like that. So that was really good to see. So that's a positive for him. Another positive for him was that he showed the versatility that the Raptors need on the defensive end, because he was able to keep up with point guards, small forwards, power forwards, and even centers. He took a beating a lot of times, but he stuck in there. And he did a pretty good job at it given his size. I think he's 6'8"-ish, 6'9"-ish max. But he's not the big guy. He's an athletic guy. So he stayed in there very well, and he fit the role very well because he allowed for the Raptors to play the ball they wanted to play with constant switching and versatile defenders and, everybody just playing as a unit on those things. And the last positive I have for him is coming into the a team that's possibly striving for a championship in every season and a culture. He transitioned very well. He was professional throughout the games. He was healthy. He was doing very well in his interviews with everybody, and he seemed pretty mature. So I got to give him that credit that he came in, realized, hey, I got to earn my stripes, and in order to do that, I got to take it step by step, like I said. Now we get to the negatives for him. Now, as a rookie, you can't really put too much onus on him. The main thing is whether he's showing improvement or not, and he did show that. But there's certain areas that he really, really needs to improve on. And number one is his court awareness. Precious, especially in the start of the season, was not making smart decisions. He was, like I said, going, China shop, bull in a China shop, straight to the basket, picking up offensive fouls, not passing the ball, holding it too long, not moving without the ball that much. So he wasn't really court aware as to what type of basketball he needed to play. Yes, he improved on that later on in the season, but he still got to do better than that. I think that's what contributed to him only having 1.1 assists. He's got to do a better job as a power forward, especially when he gets the ball down low, if he does, to get that ball out when he's about to be, once he sees a big body or things like that. And that's something that he needs to improve on, and I get that. As a rookie, you'll probably get that by playing more, and I hope he gets that going. The second thing that he needs to improve on is his shot blocking. He only had zero point 0.5 blocks last season with the Miami Heat, and he only went up. Sorry about that. Only went up zero point 0.6. So he went from 0.5 to 0.6. That's not a good, especially given the fact that he plays the power forward and center position a lot of time with the Raptors when they play small ball. He's an athletic guy. He can get up there. He can dunk the hell out of that ball. He needs to do the same thing when he's on the defensive end, when he's trying to block shots. We need that from him, especially given the role that he plays with us. And without him taking that next step on that, his defense, yes, he's versatile and stuff, but people are going to try to get to the bucket every time knowing that he's playing the center position at that time because they know he's not going to block the shots. So he needs to improve very much on the blocking of the shots. Now, the third thing I have, and I honestly think that he needs to improve on, is his three-point shooting from, let's say, the arcs. Because he was good from the corners, no doubt. But for us to be able to place the floor very well and for the defensive have to prepare for him, whether it's on the keys, in the straight, in front of the basket, things like that on the three-point line, he needs to learn those shots. He was very inconsistent with them. He had a couple of air balls, like a lot of times. And I think he will improve on that because his stroke has improved. His three-point shooting has improved, and he's more confident because that's the type of coach that Nick Nurse is. He tries to get, players confidence in their three-point shot to be able to space the floor. So that's something that he needs to do. Now, the last thing that he absolutely needs to do is to understand that he's going to have to take time to grow into the player that we need him to be and accept the role that's been given to him right now. He, don't try to do what you try to do as soon as you came here. Accept the role that you have currently, and then when somebody leaves, then you are possibly going to be the guy that's going to be transitioned into the starting lineup. You played a lot of starting lineup, so accept it. It's hard for young guys to do that, trying to prove themselves, but the Raptors love you. Masai Ujiri loves you, so there's not much onus on you to be constantly on your toes trying to prove yourself. So that's what I have for him to be able to improve, and the negatives that I saw this season that maybe didn't show as much growth for him as would have been had he done those things. And given he's so young, you expect not him to be perfect. But do I think his ceiling is hell of a star? I think it's definitely an all-star level ceiling, and he might even take a next step if he learns to play a little bit differently, learns to play like a small forward maybe. So I love Precious too. I think he's going to be a great player for us. So if I had to give him a grade for this season, and people are going to say you're harsh, but that's because he's a very, very young guy, and I expect him to make the, considerable leaps, which is that he gets a C-. and that's only so he knows that he needs to improve. I don't think he's gonna watch this video, but that's just for the, I think all the Raptors fans feel that way, that the harder you are on guys like Precious, the better they're gonna try to be, and if you spoon feed them, you're not really helping them. So that's what I have for you guys for Precious Achiuwa. I know you guys love him as well. So if you love Precious, please hit that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for my video tomorrow, probably talking about the recent news about the Raptors. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.